Welcome to The Sober Gay, a podcast about being sober in the LGBT community and beyond. I'm your host, Dillan Gay, and yes, that is my last name. Hi, Aubrey.
Hello, Dylan.
How are you?
I am here live and good.
Oh, I love that. You're here
Yeah.
live and good. I love that you're live and good.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Life has been a little hectic for about the past few weeks, but things are getting back on track. So
That's good. That's
yeah.
good. Today we're going to be talking about sobriety getting popular. I definitely noticed this because we just attended a sober festival,
Yes.
and that was so much fun.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
And so I think it was the largest sober festival out there.
I heard that. I mean, it's
So
the only one I've ever heard of.
it's the only one I've ever heard of too. And it was we had a great artist there. Who was it?
Autograph
Autograph. Oh,
and someone
gosh.
else. I forget.
Autograph someone else.
Yeah, it was
But
fun. We got some of the VIP package from Sundown, so it was really cool. They gave us some mocktails and groovy beers and things like that, and we got to hang out and we got dinner.
right, and it was cool because it felt like the whole vibe was like a music festival in the way that they had like the lights and people dressed up and like doing these fun fancy things, but everyone was sober.
Yeah, it was really cool. I smelled some weed in the air, but
Yeah,
at least it felt good to not be surrounded by drunk idiots.
yeah.
It was funny because when Aubrey and I were leaving, there was this girl that was like, "What's going on in there?" And we're like, "Oh, it's a sober music festival." And she's like, "Sober, like they're not drinking?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Like, yeah, we don't drink. We're having fun and partying while not being drunk.
She's like, "Okay, I guess if you guys like that." She was not about it.
It was next door. There was the Blue Moon, so there was Blue Moon thing going on too. So we had a whole bunch of drunk people next door to us that were like looking over, like, oh, there's a festival, and then they're like, it's a sober fest, and they're like,
yeah, and like a random fire broke out at one point too.
Oh yeah, that was weird. The light. Oh my god, the rain though.
Yeah. Oh my god, it started raining. Put out the fire at least.
It did. It did.
There was like a fire on the other side of the fence, and like everyone was very confused. But
it was along a very popular walking path in Denver, so it was
the one I used to get there too. That's what scared me. I was like, wait a damn minute, I used that path to get here.
Hold on, this was fire the whole time,
right? But then it rained like crazy for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, just about 10 minutes.
But
oh yeah, it blew. It just came in like that. It was like poured. It was like the skies just said, "Hey, I'm crying now."
Yeah, we hid under the tent with our friends at Awake, the sober bar here in
Thank
Denver.
you all for that. We appreciate it.
I was like, ooh, thank God that we're friends with the Awake people because they let us under their tent.
Oh, such a blast. I'm glad to see that we're getting these types of events though around, and they're starting to become a place, a safe haven for a lot of people. Because I know for me, there are festivals out there that you can go and find your sober tribe, and a lot of times, like, you can go and look on the Facebook pages and find people that are also going to be sober and camp with them. But like here, it's just like you don't have to worry about who you're going to be around, because for the most part, everyone is going to be and what their sense is sober. You know?
And I don't think everyone there was by definition like a sober person all the time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people there that I spoke to were just there to be sober and have a good time and not have to worry about drinking and just enjoy the music and dance around. And there was a meditation booth ran by our friend Maurice, who was on last week's episode. It was really cool. I like to see how sobriety is coming into the mainstream. You start to hear about it more and more. I start to see more on TikTok about sobriety, and a lot of people I've noticed, like, because I'm on spiritual TikTok, so I see a lot of like the spirituality stuff, and I notice a lot of people in the spirituality TikTok community are, waking up to sobriety and realizing, like, hey, when you're sober, you kind of do all this shadow work naturally, and you start to like learn more about yourself naturally, just because you are sober and you don't have any way to dumb down any, fears or anything tormenting you in your brain, you kind of have to face all of it.
Yeah, there's no forgetting it.
Yeah, exactly. So I like how TikTok mainstream at least is I'm starting to see a lot more people talking about their experience not drinking or just putting it out there that it's okay to not drink. And I see a lot of people offering different drinks that are not alcoholic for their parties and things like that. And
Mhm.
just like the openness to it, I just noticed a whole cultural 180 of
Mhm.
how people are treating sober people.
And this might sound weird and maybe, like, off a little bit, but I also have noticed that there's, like, this shift in when it comes to talking about drinking now with people, and it's
Yeah.
now a lot more people are really conscious about how much they are drinking, and they're like, I'm not drinking that much," or, "I'm not doing," and then it's like they notice, like, people are starting to notice, like, maybe we are drinking a lot more than we
Yeah.
should be as a culture, and I've noticed that, like, when I bring it up to people, like, at work, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sober." They're like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I don't drink every now and then," and they try to, like,
Yeah,
they
they
try
try
to
to
make it
like
seem like they're a part of the sober
yeah.
community too, and they're not always drinking, so it's almost like this, like, stigma is changing to where, like, drinking might be the bad thing now.
Yeah, and yeah, 'cause it's funny when they're like, "Oh, you don't drink," and then they're oh, what was I gonna say?
Love that moment.
No, when they start to, like, show off, like, how sober they can be, and then
Mhm.
they and then they'll, like, feel apologetic towards you and be like,
Yes.
"Oh, well, he's not drinking, that must be so hard." I'm like, "Girl, it ain't that hard
Right,
now,"
I'm
like
just not drinking, I'm just not picking up a drink today.
yeah, I just that's pretty much what it is, but people don't realize, like, the liberation that we've gotten from being sober. We don't have to feel like we need anything to dumb down our emotions like that
Mhm.
or every night or anything
Mhm.
or when we're in a big group of people. So, but they can't fathom that because they're not at that point.
Well, it's again goes back to, like, losing a friend, and not necessarily like these people are alcoholics and all of them are alcoholics if they're drinking, but it's still losing a friend, and if you have that, like, thought process of, "Oh my gosh, what if I never drink again?" Like,
Yeah.
they still have to go through that, like, it's no longer in their life, it's no longer gonna be a part of them, so
Right. I don't see much, like, sober propaganda. I mean, I still see, like, the random, like, beer drinks shirts or beer shirts and, wine, culture for wine moms
Mhm.
and things like that. I'm not really seeing anything public, yet, but I definitely have my eyes peeled. But I want the mainstream to kinda catch on.
I think they might start to do that slowly over the next couple, years or so, and I think one of the defining things in America, and you can always kind of tell what American culture, um you can always kinda tell what American culture is gonna be like when the Super Bowl comes around.
Oh, explain.
I just think that that's a huge time for, like, advertisements of drinking and things like
Oh,
that, and
yeah.
I mean, it's one of the biggest I would say one of the biggest days that people celebrate here in America. It's Super Bowl, a lot of people love football. I could be generalizing as well, but, um, you get a lot of advertisements thrown at you during that time, and so you can kinda see where American culture is at that point because that is what a lot of Americans are watching.
I feel like is there a Heineken Zero ad running? I don't really see much television, but
I know that they did do some, Heineken Zero ads back a couple
yeah.
years ago. They wanted to, showcase that they do kind of cater to the sober community. Pandering in a way, great, and I'm
I
glad they
mean, I'll
have
take
it,
it.
but
I remember there's I yes, 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 there is a Heineken Zero commercial of a guy, like, driving
Mhm.
with his Heineken Zero because it's zero point zero, so, there's no,
Mm.
like, residual or anything in it, so you could drive while you're drinking it, but I
I
don't
don't know
remember
how
the
I feel about
commercial.
that.
I
That's
know.
very, like,
I
weird
mean, it's kinda
advertising.
like like, it's like putting it in people's face, kinda like, "Pull me over, look, I'm drinking, but it's not alcohol." Like, it's
Yeah.
just kinda weird. I'm never driving and like, "Oh, I could really use a Heineken Zero while
It's a
I drive."
pride thing. It's a right? I don't wanna just sit and drive and drink a Heineken Zero.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, that's weird.
For me, I'm just starting to see that I do think that companies are starting to take notice and hold that there is a big market in sobriety.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people in this country that are struggling, and it is a big market to be able to open up to those people and say, "It's okay."
Yeah. I went to a place, called The District, like 2 weeks
Love the
ago,
district.
and they have a sober menu now, like a
Mhm.
mocktail menu, and I'm like, "Wow, that's amazing." Like,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't think of a place like that because it's right next to Hamburger Mary's, which is just very drinking, like, get fucked up place. Um, I wonder if Hamburger Mary's has a mocktail menu. They
I'm
should.
sure they do. I actually do think they do. I know a lot of the restaurants on that street there tend to have some sort of sober option. I know my restaurant, we're really working hard at trying to create a good, sober, curious menu for
But
people.
apparently Ritual's out of stock right now, like, everywhere.
Yes, yeah, there look at that. Look, Ritual's out of stock. It's
Yeah,
great.
that means someone's drinking it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that people are recognizing these brands for what they are.
I love to I like getting making people a drink with Ritual because I'm like, it's gonna taste, it's gonna give you that burn, but literally it's made from botanicals and
Mhm.
good stuff. So you're gonna end up feeling better after you drink this mocktail versus a cocktail where you would end up feeling temporarily better because you're buzzed, but you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there's no health benefit to that. Whereas a mocktail, you're now adding a health benefit
Mhm.
by making it botanicals. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
I think it is really worth, having those options for people because it's not just for people who are sober too, it's for people who might need to be a DD that night, or for
Yeah.
people who might just need to have, like, something along with them. I think it's a great way, to even kind of, like, get people, like, the knowledge of alcohol and maybe give them, like, the test without actually, like, giving them the alcohol.
Yeah, and it gives, like, the type 1 drinkers, the people who can just have 1 glass of wine and be okay, it gives them a way to not to just skip the middleman and not even go for that because they just want that 1 glass to be social anyway. Now they can
Mhm.
have their non-alcoholic, option, and I think that's really good because I know a lot of my friends, they do both. They'll dabble in mocktails and cocktails, and giving them that opportunity to just, like, still blend in and not have to worry about anything is cool for them, you know?
I think that's one of the biggest barriers when it comes to sobriety and reaching sobriety in this country, or like just even reaching a like normalized state of drinking. Um, that's a weird way of saying that, but I think that focus our s- we're looking for like a way out when we're social, and it does allow those people to have that way out now because I think that was the big barrier. It's like you either had to drink or you had a water or an iced tea or a juice.
Yeah, and someone I saw on TikTok the other day was saying, they're like, "Oh, it's bad luck to toast with water." I'm like, "Fuck out of here." Like, it's bad luck to toast with champagne because 'cause you're gonna get drunk.
Mhm. I know I had so many worse situations happen to me when I was drunk,
Yeah, I'm
and
like, "How is it bad luck to toast with water? That makes no sense." So, this is your disclaimer that it is totally cool to toast with water.
yeah, please toast with water.
Yeah, it's
Please toast with
delicious.
anything, Coke too, and I'm talking about Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Yeah, ugh, um,
I just think that I just think that the popularity, um, growth is also having to do with people like us being able to push that into mainstream and people like us pushing to have it be mainstream. You
yeah,
know,
just
it's a
talking about
fight.
it. It's like, just talking about it makes such a difference just because people are so used to hearing the conversation be centered around alcohol in public spaces. So now that we can change the conversation and make it more about us, because
Yeah.
as it should be. No, just kidding.
Well, no, I mean seriously though, would you have ever had that conversation with that girl beforehand, right outside of the sober festival if that wasn't there? Would that the
Yeah.
conversation and now that kind of gets her thinking as well, like,
Yeah,
oh,
who
there's
knows?
sober festival.
She coulda went home that night and been like, "Huh, those guys were sober and dancing and
Mhm.
happy, and I was making fun of them in a way, and I was drunk and stumbling." Like, that's it's gonna create a lot of, like, self-reflection for people just
Yeah.
from us talking and more people talking about it. It's
Mhm.
gonna, create it more of a comfortable space to talk about it and not so taboo.
Comfortable space is the way that I think it's not safe space, but just a space to be able to talk about anything with, yeah, people might have differences of opinion on it, but you can talk about it without having a fight break out or without like someone looking
Yeah.
down on you for it.
And honestly, anytime that there's a major disagreement at a bar, it usually has to do with someone being inebriated in the first place. So it's like
Mhm.
you pull that out of there. I didn't notice any fights break out at Sundown Music
Mhm.
Festival. I didn't security was just bored, it looked like. Security was just standing around enjoying the music.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
most people are pretty much in control of what's going on in this situation.
Yeah, no one was trying to, like, jump a fence. No one was just, like no one got the daring idea to do something stupid. It was just everyone was
Yeah.
just vibing and just
You
dancing.
danced, you didn't have people running into each other, and people were, like, aware of their space and the
Yeah.
people around them, and
And it got pretty busy, like,
yeah.
towards the end, like, I got there pretty early, and it was just, like, any kind of festival during the day, but towards, like, dark and, like, the nighttime, it was pretty poppin'.
Yeah, I got
Oh, and
I
the
g
thunder.
uh,
Oh, every time it thundered, we would all clap. It was just, like, a really cool moment for everyone.
I am disappointed I never saw the fire.
Oh my god,
I
there
mean, not the fire in the beginning, but
Yeah, they had pyrotech, like the like concerts and things do, and every time that they would, like, shoot the sparkler fire up, I'd be like, "Ooh, look, fire," and then Aubrey would look and it would be gone.
so I don't actually think this fire was ever
Did you
there.
never see it?
No,
Really?
I never saw the
Oh my
fire.
god.
The fire never happened anytime I was looking at the stage, and it was very disappointing,
I feel like
so
every time I looked at the stage, I saw the fire.
Oh my gosh. Well, next time, all right, Sundown, I need you to have more pyrotechnics. I need fireworks.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
No, I'm just kidding. Y'all did great.
Yeah, we're gonna be at a booth there next year, so that's gonna be cool. Come
Yes.
see us in a year.
Yes, please do. I am super excited to do more stuff like that and more stuff with the sober community.
Which is getting more popular.
Popular. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's thanks to you all too. Like you all being able to just also be vulnerable with us and share us your opinions to us. Like that is also a way to like get more information out there.
For sure. Where is a good place that they could send us emails if they wanna talk to us?
Oh, I think they can go to oh my gosh, I'm doing the wrong thing. Let's go to the sobergay@gmail.com.
Yeah, send those emails to thesobergay@gmail.com.
Hmm.
Yeah, this brings us to the end of our episode today. I know, I know. So
I
popular.
know. I'll just have to wait another week.
Well, where can popular bitches find us on Instagram?
Well, they can find us at the Sober Gay
The
Podcast.
Sober Gay Podcast. And we we do have a website and it's very popular. I don't know if you could get on. If you could log on, you could try to log on. I don't know if you're gonna be able
It's
to get
exclusive
on.
though,
But you
so
can type in www.thesobergay.com and try.
I don't know though. You're wearing pink. All right.
Yeah, it's for rainbow bitches. Until next time,
Stay sober, girl.